Hello. Hi children. Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about separating the components. Right. Already in the last class we studied about some techniques. Right. Which are they? Are you remembering all that? Which are that one? Yes. Some things. That means evaporation, centrifugation, then and separation of the components by using that separating funnel, right? And the last one is sublimation. So these are the four important separation techniques or separation methods we studied in the previous class, right? Are you remembering all that? Yes. Okay. So today we are going to discuss some other separation methods. Okay. So that are using by chromatography and the other one is used by distillation. Okay, using fractionating column and all we are using for this process. Okay, and then first one, the term chromatography. Chromatography means the separation of the solutes from some solvent. Separation of the solutes from some solvent. In the previous class we studied about ink. Right, in the case of ink, how to separate ink from the normal water, or otherwise ink water mixture we are taking and we are giving little heat energy, and after that from that we are giving heat energy more, and it is after a little time it will the water is boiling and that evaporate, but volatile liquid. We know that water is a volatile liquid, so that because of that volatile nature water is evaporating and the balance that ink is there on the watch glass. We know that, right? We studied in the previous class. And today we are studying about this chromatography. Here also we are using the same ink. Okay, and here first we are taking as an activity in your textbook how to do the chromatography. Before that I just want to tell that chromatography, the term is chroma. The term is coming from a Greek word. It is a Greek word. From that Greek word we finally modified this term chromatography. Chroma means color making, or from that separating methods different types of colors we can make. Okay, so different types colors means if the substance is containing different types of color is there means we can separate that one from the ink or that dye. Okay, so you know that about dyes. So here we are taking as an example is ink. So we know that ink is a dye. So that time we will think that ink means only one color, a black color ink we are seeing. That we are thinking that black. Only one color is there, we will think that. Okay. So but in that black color, little 2-3 colors are mixed there. If that means different solutes are dissolving in the same solvent. Where it is dissolving? In the water. Right. So we need to separate these colors from that ink. That is the thing we are doing. Okay. So that separation method is known as chromatography. What we are doing means in the textbook if you take, there is one activity is there. First a small filter paper we can take like that. Okay, and from lower to upside what you do means take 3 centimeter gap you take and you mark with a pencil and scale. Okay, and after that I'll show you. Can you see children? This is the case I told you. First we will take a small strip of filter paper you take, and there is a line 3 centimeter gap from the bottom to up, 3 centimeter gap you take and you mark with the line with the help of the pencil, and there is a spot you mark. Okay, and after that what you want to do means you can take another one that strip of, that means that filter paper we need to keep inside the column, that means a glass chamber you take. Okay, so in that glass chamber what we are going to do means we will take this filter paper inside, we are going to put. Before that little amount of water, already this blue color is water. Okay, so that water you are adding inside the glass chamber, and after that there is that paper we are putting inside. Okay, and the strip of filter paper already fixed inside that. Before that, in this line, that is, there is a spot I told you, right? In that spot you just add one drop of marker pen or anything, any color, ink, one drop of ink you add in this point, and after that you keep it inside the chamber and slowly you keep undisturbed, and after that you watch there what is happening there. Okay, so what is happening means, in this point is above the water level. Water should not touch this level. Water ഇവിടെ തട്ടാൻ പാടില്ല. അപ്പം അതിന് തൊട്ട് മുകളിലായിട്ട് വേണം എന്ത്, ഈ നമ്മുടെ ഈ പോയിന്റില്ലേ, നമ്മൾ ടച്ച് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ആ പോയിന്റ് അവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കുന്നത്, അതായത് 1 ഡ്രോപ്പ് ഇങ്ക് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത് അവിടെ ആയിരിക്കണം ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കുന്നത്. ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് വി ആർ കീപ്പിംഗ് ഇൻസൈഡ് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. After little time we can see that the water is slowly, because of capillary action, water is moving upwards, right? So if the water is moving upwards, what will happen for that ink? So slowly the solute substance present, which are the color substance are present in there, slowly they will move to upwards. മുകളിലേക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും, ആ കളേഴ്സ് മൂവ് ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങും. അതിൽ നിന്നും നമുക്ക് ആ ഇങ്കിനകത്ത് ഏതൊക്കെ കളേഴ്സ് പ്രസൻ്റ് ആണെന്നും എങ്ങനെയാണെന്നും നമുക്ക് കാണാം. Okay children, listen here. This is I told you. We are fixing our filter paper. That filter paper we are fixing inside the glass chamber and all. See, you can see that down water is there. Water is taken as a solvent. Because the ink is dissolving in the solvent only. So solute is dissolving in the solvent only. So from this solvent, on the top little top only, we are marking that point. From there, because of this chromatographic effect, the water is slowly moving upward. This is water level. Okay, so finally from that drop of color, what will happen means it is slowly going upward, and we can see the color of the different colors we can see here, right? Can you see? Yes. Okay children, please see this one. From the experiment I took one photo. See this, actually this is happening there. Otherwise you can do it in a beaker also. Okay, so in that beaker, if you are doing like this, this is that filter paper, you can see that one. Actually this is happening there. So on the lower side only the ink drop we put, and because of the water is capillary motion, the water is moving upwards. Along with that ink also moving. Is it clear children? So now you can see the different colors, right? Yellow like little more, and all this you can see, and light red color also you can see. This is happening in the chromatographic technique. So this is used for separation of components or separation of colors from a dye. Okay, so from that experiment what you are understanding children? Yes, actually we know that water is a solvent. In that water dye is mixing, or otherwise ink is mixing. Ink is taking as a solute, right? So in that solute is mixing in that solvent. After that ink is forming, we know that. So we know that dye is a mixture of 2 or more components, or 2 or more color is present in that solution, or otherwise dye, or that is ink. Okay, so from that one we need to separate. That is the way we are using that separating method. That method is known as chromatography. So we have more applications related to this chromatography. Which are that applications, do you know? Yes, that means separation of drugs from the blood. Separate sugar component and HP, that cholesterol, something, and that and all we will separate, right? So that in that old case, drugs, that case, when medicine component and all that we need to separate from the blood, we are using this chromatography method in the hospitals also and laboratories also, and all we are using. Same like different pigments from the process substance, the pigment variation, that means color separation, that means pigments also we need to separate, means we will use this chromatography technique. Same like different colors from a compound we need to separate, means we will use chromatography. These are the things related to chromatography technique. Okay, and next we are going to say a new term, that is known as distillation. Okay, distillation means it is a separating method. In this method we are doing separation of two miscible liquids. If we are taking two miscible liquids, we need to separate means which method we will use? Distillation method we will use. Before that, I have one question. What are miscible liquids and what are immiscible liquids? Can you say? Just now in the previous class we discussed all that things, right? So miscible liquids, two examples I will tell you. One is milk and water mixture. Milk is adding to water, and another one is oil is adding to water. Okay, now it is clear, right? Milk is adding to water means it is completely dissolving in that. So that solution is known as miscible liquids. And oil is adding to water. What will happen? Oil is not completely dissolved in the water. So oil will be spreading on the top of the water, making layer. So that type of liquids are known as immiscible liquids. So miscible liquids mean the two solutions are completely, the two substances are completely dissolving in it. That type of liquids are known as miscible liquids, and the substance or the solutions, they are not completely dissolving and making a new solution. So that means it is spreading. One solution is spreading on the top of other solution, or it is not dissolving. That type of liquids are known as immiscible liquids. Okay. Here we are taking, we need to separate two miscible liquids. We need to separate. So here we are taking as an example of acetone water mixture. What we are taking? Acetone water mixture, and also we are arranging a distillation apparatus. If the process is we need to do means, first we need to set an apparatus. That name is known as distillation apparatus. I will show you. Okay children, this apparatus is known as distillation apparatus. Okay, figure 2.9 from your textbook. Okay, page number 21. This apparatus is known as distillation apparatus. What we are doing here, already one stand is there. Okay, and then there is a round bottom flask is there. You can see this round color, round looking like round. So this flask name is known as what? Round bottom flask, and it is fixed like this, and on the top a thermometer is connected, and along with this a column, a condenser is connected through that, and finally there is a beaker is there. Okay, this square shaped vessel is known as beaker. And what we are taking means, first time we are taking this acetone and water mixture. അസറ്റോണും വാട്ടറും കൂടെ മിക്സ് ചെയ്തു നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? റൗണ്ട് ബോട്ടം ഫ്ലാസ്കിൽ എടുക്കുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് വി ആർ ഗിവിങ് ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി. Heat energy, and here the boiling point of acetone is 56 degree and the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So acetone need little amount of heat energy only. So from this here on the top a thermometer is connected. Okay, so when we are giving heat energy, slowly what will happen there? The liquid state change into gaseous state. That means it will evaporate. That means gaseous particles or waves, these are starting from there, it is going upwards. Okay. And there in that time in the thermometer temperature will be 56 degree. Okay, so we need to separate acetone from this mixture. And then these vapors are slowly it is moving up, and it is they have a way to go here. Okay, so these vapors are passing through this, and here one condenser. What is the name of this? This is known as water condenser. When the vapors are coming from here, it is very hot. So from that hot vapor we are not getting any water drops. That time what we will do? We need to condense. What is meant by condensation? In the previous class we studied that condensation means change of state. That means the gas vapor state is changed into liquid state. Okay, that process is known as condensation. So from here condensation we need to do means we should arrange one water condenser. So in that water condenser it is cooling effect is there. So this hot vapors are passing through this. That time it is cooled. Okay, condensed, and after that condensation process it is slowly condensed and cooled, and it is changed the state of gas from liquid. Okay, gas from liquid, and it is slowly drop by drop it is slowly fixed, or it is in the beaker it is deposited. And now you see that what is distillation process. just now, right? So that is in that distillation process, two miscible liquids are separating. Okay, how we can understand means their boiling points are different. Okay, so lower boiling point who are getting, that will easily fastly evaporate, or otherwise it is changing into from gaseous state to liquid state. In that experiment you saw that. So this type of miscible liquids we need to separate, mean we are using distillation method. But if this type of miscible liquids, their boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin, their difference of boiling point is less than 25 Kelvin, means we can't use this distillation process. That time we are using another one method. We need the help of another one apparatus. That apparatus name is known as fractionating column. What is the name of that apparatus? Fractionating column. So with the help of fractionating column, we can use the same distillation process. Okay, so that is the name of that type of distillation. Yes, the name of that type of distillation is known as fractional distillation. See this, children? Fractional distillation. In that fractional distillation, what we will do means we will add a fractionating column in that apparatus. Then it is very easy to separate that type of miscible liquids. Okay, children, listen here. Fractional distillation. We told that fractional distillation. So here also same, in the previous experiment what we done, the same only here also. But here one difference is there is a fractionating column is there. This is known as fractionating column. Normally these fractionating columns are mixed with beads. You can see, right, small particles like beads are fitted there inside that. Okay, same like here, two immiscible liquids are taking here and we are giving heat energy, and on the top what is connected? Fractionating column is connected, and on the top there is a thermometer also connected, and here one water condenser also fixed there. Okay, the same experiment happening here also. Because of this heat energy, vapors are producing. These vapors are slowly, directly it is reached there where it is in this fractionating column. So the beads are there. In that beads, what they are doing means they are helps the vapors to cool. Here condensation process is happening there, and the vapors are cooling on this here, and again these are little vapors is passing through this fractionating column, and same like again it is cooled more and condensation happen here, and finally go like this, it is water drops are collecting here in the last part. Okay, is it clear, children? Okay. Okay, children, from that two experiment we understood that what is distillation process, and when we are using a separate different apparatus. The non-distillation apparatus, another one apparatus is fractionating column. In that apparatus also we can use in this experiment, and that separation method is known as fractional distillation. So from all this we are these two methods also. In this case we are separating two miscible liquids. One is in normal case, and because of that boiling temperature it is easily to dissolve, or it is easy to separate. But in the second case, if their miscible liquids they have been a boiling point difference is less than 25 Kelvin, means the first method is not easy to use. So that time we are using with the help of a fractionating column, and easily we are doing that one. Okay, so all these are the case happened in this. Because of this fractional distillation in our daily life we have more applications are there. And another one is separation of different gases present in air. We can do the separation of gas, that means air, oxygen we need to separate, means we can use that type of fractionating column we can use, and we can separate. So in the textbook one picture is there, just I will show you that. And also one more thing, the petroleum products. In that petroleum products, for in the first time we are getting them, it is in a impure form only. So same like in the using fractionating column and all, because of that fractionating column we can giving heat energy. That time the temperature difference is varying. That time because of that boiling temperature and all, the substance is like this easily separated from that petroleum products. So that also we can reduce, or we can done in the factories and big industries and all. Okay, that also another one important application related to this distillation methods. Okay, our next topic is, or the next point is, how can we obtain gases from air, or otherwise how can we get oxygen in the liquid form? That is, we are going to discuss the next point. Okay, so in your textbook there is one diagram is there related to air. Can you see this? This is a flow chart. Can you see, children? In your textbook is here. You take your textbook and see this. Air. From that air, first we are compressing and cooling by increasing pressure and decreasing the temperature. After that it is forming as a liquid air and it allowed to warm up slowly in the fractional distillation column, and gases get separated at different heights. These are the table. See, in this table they are marking as boiling point and percentage air by volume, right? Three gases they are giving and their boiling points also. Here first one is oxygen, that is minus 183 is their boiling point, and second one is argon. Argon's boiling point is minus 186, and the third one is nitrogen and their boiling point is minus 196. From this percentage by volume it is 20.9, 0.9 and 78.1. Okay, this is the flow diagram, shows the process of obtaining gases from the air. Now just we can see how it is happening in this because related to this flow chart. Okay children, so in your textbook there is figure 2.12. Can you see this figure 2.12? There is a figure is there. Just see that this is the method we are separating the components of air. Now we can see, I'll show you a small way. This is a picture. So how it is working and all I'll show now. Okay children, just now I show you that separating components, that picture I show you. This is the video of that picture. Okay, so what is happening here we'll see. Can you see here a filtered chamber? This chamber is known as filter. Air is there. So in our air is a mixture of different dust particles are there, more things are there, or it is. So in that area it is filtered. First we need to filter and we are going, this air is going to this area either. So that filtered air is passing through that pressure chamber. So you can see that in that pressure chamber there is a pressuring that apparatus is there. Okay, so because of that piston chamber, within the help of this piston compress the air and corresponding pressure of air is increasing. Okay, it is going through that pipe. Now it is hot air. So when the pressure is increasing and simultaneously the temperature also increases. Because of this high temperature the pressure gas is forming. Okay, so that gas is passing through that. But we only need high pressure gas. So the next step is to remove the temperature of the gas. Okay, so if we need to remove means what we will do? Yes, there is a apparatus is there, is known as a chamber, because inside what is happening means, can you see that round chamber? It is known as water chamber. Okay, inside that water is moving in this round like chamber. Why? Because when the hot air is coming and rotating inside this chamber, in that time this rounded tube like that one, water is rotating and it is going like that. Okay, then the high temperature gas flows over the circulated tubes. That time we know that heat have a property that the heat only flow from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay children, so then what will happen there? Then water will become cold. Can you see that the color changed? See, cold water. The cold water receive all the temperature from the gas, right? And then the cold compressed air pressed to the separator. You can see there is a separator is there. From this separator carbon dioxide gas is separated, and from this hole it is going. See, the carbon dioxide out as dry ice. Do you know that dry ice is solid carbon dioxide? So solid carbon dioxide is separated from this way. Okay, and after that it is passed, the cold compressed air passed to the separator. In that time the dry ice is separated from that separator, this area. Okay, that time our compressed air is carbon dioxide free. Then the pressurized gas goes to the expansion jet. See, directly it is going from this small thing. Okay, this is known as expansion jet. Okay, and it is liquefies. From that is gaseous vapors change to liquid. Okay, and then the liquid air is slowly warm up and the fractionating column. This is known as fractionating column, the second thing. In that fractionating column, what will happen means that it is liquefies. And then in that time, there is a hole is there. You can see, children, see this. There is nitrogen gas and argon gas is expelled out. That means the nitrogen boiling point is minus 196 degrees Celsius and the argon is minus 186 degrees Celsius. So that time it is again the gases are separating out through this hole. Okay, and after that the oxygen have higher boiling point. The oxygen boiling point is minus 183 degrees Celsius and the oxygen is having high boiling point, that is minus 183 degrees Celsius, and fastly it is liquefies and the liquid oxygen is collecting and separating in this last part. Okay children, this is the easy method. That's the reason I show that video. Then only you will understand. Okay, so you can check the same video on the YouTube and little more clearly you will get an idea about that. Okay, so this is the way we can separate the oxygen or different gases from the mixture with the help of fractionating column. And this is the way it is very easily that a hot air is going and it is cooling and condensing and it is slowly coming, and from that carbon dioxide gas, nitrogen gas and argon gas, all it is separating and going outside, and finally we get oxygen. So these are the things we studied today. Which are the things we studied? We have studied about chromatography, distillation methods, fractional distillation, and just now we studied about how to separate gases from the air. Okay children, thank you.